is one other top 10 matchup or top 25 matchup, excuse me, that I have not discussed. How about this one for a curveball? LSU coming off a game where they gave up roughly 1 million points, a little bit of hyperbole, but not by much. They are still ranked at 3-2. They travel to face one of only 3 undefeated teams in the SEC. That is the Missouri Tigers. That is right. Kentucky, Georgia, Missouri, only undefeated teams in the SEC at this point. And this is an interesting one. LSU is a 5.5-point favorite in the DraftKings Sportsbook in this game. On top of that, the over-under for this game is set at 64.5. Obviously, Vegas expects a high-scoring game, and for good reason. It is because LSU's defense is not that good. And let me just do a quick thing. One, I do think LSU, it is interesting. First of all, tough schedule break. I don't know that I ever remember a team having 3 SEC road games by the first weekend of October. I don't know if that's happened before. I don't remember it, okay? But at the same time, let me also say this. This will be their 3rd SEC road game, by the way. Same time, let me also say this. I don't care about anything when it comes to LSU other than this. I don't care about your scholarship numbers. I don't care about attrition. I don't care about the transfer portal. I don't care about missed recruiting by the previous coaching staff. There is never a scenario in the world where LSU should ever give up 700 yards of total offense. And oh, by the way, on top of that, 55 points like they did against Ole Miss. I know Lane Kiffin is a savant. I know Ole Miss has players too, but 700 yards, that is insane. I mean, that's what LSU is coming off of. And it's also worth noting, by the way, that it's especially frustrating because the offense is as fun to watch as anybody in college football. LSU number 1 offense in all of the SEC. Jaden Daniels, I think, is playing at a Heisman Trophy level. Now, he's not going to get Heisman Trophy credit because the defense has been so bad, but he is dynamic. The run game is getting there. And here's the scary part. I think LSU has the best wide receiver combo in college football, and I include Ohio State in that with Marvin Harrison and Emeka Egbuka. Do you understand what LSU's receivers are doing? Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, they have combined through 5 games for 13 touchdowns combined and 73 catches through 5 games. That is insane, and it speaks to how good this offense is. It speaks to how frustrating, by the way, it must be to be an LSU fan with the way the defense is playing. Now, from the Missouri perspective, what did we just talk about with Louisville? Who have you played? Where have you played them? What is the situation? For Missouri, we'll get to the schedule in a minute. The positives, a lot like Louisville. The reason the over-under is as high as it is, really explosive offense. Brady Cook has been phenomenal. 74% completion percentage, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. If this guy played, listen, again, it's kind of what I said a minute ago, kind of with Dylan Gabriel in the first segment is if this guy goes off, I know it'll be LSU, but I mean, you can't not put this guy in the Heisman Trophy conversation if they're tied for first in the SEC East race, 6-0, and he's putting up incredible stats through the beginning of the season. Now we'll see if it happens, but I just bring it up to say that he is having an incredible year. And then Luther Burden. This was a former 5-star kid, decided to stay home. He is phenomenal. 43 catches, 5 touchdowns through the first 5 games of the season. Theo Wees, a transfer from Oklahoma, 24 catches, 3 touchdowns as well. So they got an explosive pass offense like LSU. They also got a pass defense that isn't very good, 91st nationally. And I know that statistically the teams that they have played are pretty good. But when I say great pass offenses, Kansas State and Vanderbilt and Middle Tennessee State are not the first teams that come to mind. And when I look at this game, I think that's what it boils down to for me. We just talked about it with Louisville and Notre Dame. How battle-tested was Louisville? And I'll ask the same question here with LSU, Missouri. How battle-tested is Missouri? Because you can criticize LSU for everything, but they've already won in dominant fashion on the road against Mississippi State. They already played Florida State on a neutral field that was in Orlando. It wasn't even neutral. It was mostly Florida State fans. And they played, obviously, a week ago at Ole Miss. They are battle-tested. They are tough. They have been through a lot. Missouri, they have played 5 games. South Dakota, Middle Tennessee, Kansas State at home, Memphis, and at Vanderbilt. The first 4 games were all in the state of Missouri. The 5th one was at Vandy, not exactly the toughest place to go for SEC opponents. And so I bring it up because I just don't know what to expect from Missouri. Listen, LSU's limited, but you can't say that they won't be ready for this game. I thought Brian Kelly, listen, I know LSU fans are mad. I thought Brian Kelly handled this week pretty well. He didn't place it all on the defensive coordinator. He said it's a group effort. He did bring in some outside consultation, if you will, but didn't place it all on the defensive coordinator and basically said, like, it's on all of us to get this thing fixed. I don't know if it happens this week, but I do think they do enough to win. I do think they do enough to cover. And what's interesting, I was thinking about this. Last thought. We'll get to the rest of the games. Missouri's 5-0 at home and undefeated. LSU is coming off a game in which they gave up 55 points and 700 yards, and LSU is still close to a touchdown favorite. I don't love taking road favorites, but I did it with Notre Dame, and I'm going to do it here. I think LSU is the right side. Thank you, everybody, for your support of the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube channel, and we do have a major announcement as major news has come to the state of Kentucky. That is right, legal sports betting now available in Kentucky, and here is the cool part. The Aaron Torres Pod YouTube channel has now partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook and the DraftKings Sportsbook app, and as a thank you to listeners of this channel, DraftKings Sportsbook has an incredible offer for all first-time customers. First-time customers, here's what you need to know. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Bet $5 on any game. You get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use the code TORRES. That's Torres, Torres. All you got to do, it's very simple. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook online. Bet $5 on any game. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use the code TORRES. First-time customers, take advantage of this exclusive offer. It's an incredible deal. Thank you to DraftKings. Could not be more fired up to be working with the DraftKings Sportsbook.